Jamie wasn't happy that I didn't kill Barnum. I hope his testimony was worth the trust it cost me. After Ellsworth, Washington and I traveled to the JBA Headquarters in New Orleans. That's where I met the family. First up was the man in charge, Emile Dufresne. I remembered him from Iceland. Next was his lieutenant, Carson Moss. Can't say we hit it off. The person who was going to handle the weapon was Enrique Villablanca. She wasn't much older than my daughter. And finally, there was B.J. Sykes, the techie in charge of their security system. One man I didn't get to meet was Cole Yeager. It seems Dufresne was afraid Yeager was plotting to take over the JBA. So he sent me on an errand to pump Yeager for information, hoping Yeager might try to get the new recruit on his side. On my way to see Yeager, I had an opportunity to sneak into the compound's restricted area, so I took it. Lambert, come in.
Sam, what's your status?
I'm inside the restricted area. I managed to sneak in undetected while running an errand for Emile. What's new at home?
You brought us some goodwill at Ellsworth. Kept Barnum alive. Good job. I stashed your equipment already. Did you find it?
Yeah, I got it. Wasn't easy to snuggle in, though. So what's the plan?
Intel. We set up a surveillance grid on the outside. But JBA's electronic countermeasures are keeping us from hearing anything on the inside. You may have noticed some problems with your equipment as well. We need you to tone the jamming down by reducing its electricity input. Blueprints indicate the compound has been rewired so many times that each area is now regulated by a different fuse box. Find all 4 boxes and tap into them. There should be one on the roof, one near the entrance, one in the warehouse, and one in the loading bay. Their location is on your minimap.
Anything else?
Yes. If someone spots you, or if they detect the drop in their grid, the new guy is going to be their first suspect. You can't afford that. While you're there, find ways to prop up your cover and divert suspicion to someone else.
Emile is already suspicious of one of his people, Cole Yeager.
If that's the case, Yeager might be useful to us. Send me any info you find and we'll go from there. Lambert out.
What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, Sinister1, and of course, welcome back to more Splinter Cell Double Agent. This is, again, the original Xbox version, played on the hardest difficulty, Elite mode, and obviously no knockouts during this mission. This is the JBA Headquarters #1. As you can see, we took out the light here. There is a specific reason to do that, as we needed to come up here, and there's really not a really good chance for you to get up the stairs with that light on with 3 different guards rotating. So take the light out. That's the only reason that this guy came up here, is because he's paying attention to the light. He doesn't actually see you. Again, one of the challenges we've provided with ourselves is that we're allowed to take out lights when needed, only if there's really no other option to get around. Other than that, he can see the light, but he doesn't see Sam or anything of that nature. So once you get the light, immediately come up here, wait, of course, until he comes up, and then immediately come into the room when you have a clearing, because Moss is going to be coming into this room as well, and he can see you in this corner, so you want to try to grab this as quickly as possible. Once Moss turns around in your direction, you need to be against the wall or he will see you. So immediately once you've got it, exit out of this menu and then get up against the wall as quickly as possible. This will make it to where Moss doesn't actually get a glimpse of you. Once he is by, then you can go ahead and continue on with your main objective and grab these. Of course, you guys can pause at the individual frames so you can read all the information. So here there are 3 people you need to watch out for. Moss isn't too much of a worry, but there are 2 people downstairs that can see you sometimes. So just be a little careful here when coming out of the room and make sure that no one is looking directly at you. You're just a little bit enough in the light there that someone can sometimes perceive you. Stay in the dark areas, and we're going to work our way around this guy. Now, you're not going to see me use night vision a lot in this level because it is jammed, and it can be very annoying because it kind of like disrupts the screen every few seconds. So wait till this guy enters the room. Once he does, follow closely behind him. There's a camera, but you shouldn't have to worry about it. Get to the right side of this guy. If you're enough and against the wall, you should be able to get by him without him actually seeing you. You can get around this camera, or you can just go ahead and shoot the camera with your... I don't know. I can never remember what exactly that weapon is called. It's actually different in this game. It's a specific gun. It's not an attachment, at least in this level, that pertains to Sam's main weapon. So it's not attached to his pistol. It's a pistol itself. I don't know why they changed that up from the previous game. But once you enter here, you're pretty good to go. Just make your way to the right and then climb up here. You want to wait till these guys are done talking, and once they are, then you can go ahead and grab the third fuse box. This is definitely one of the easier missions in this game, so you should not have too much trouble. As you can see, Sam glitched out a little bit. He's kind of floating in the air there. So there is a ladder that we can grab a hold of, and we can shimmy across all the way to the other side. It's very important that you do this because it can be very difficult to maneuver around down there. So if you jump down here, and I show the light just so you can see that it's this little thing that you can shimmy along. But you don't want to stay in night vision too long because, like I said, it can be very disorienting. And I know the game is dark. I know I could brighten things up, but I think leaving the game the way it was meant to be played with the darkness, I just feels a little better. You guys can get a sense of the layout of the area here when I do show this off in the night vision. Other than that, you will be able to kind of maneuver yourself around. Once you climb up here, there's going to be a save point. Go ahead and do that. We have one more fuse box to get, and then we can move on with our next 3 objectives. Or should I say 4? So this can be a little different depending on where the soldier is located. Sometimes you need to watch out when you exit here. He can see you if he's at a specific point. So just kind of look around a little bit and make sure that he is not staring in that direction before you come out of there. Otherwise, he will be able to see you. Now, depending on where he is, he's far enough away to where he doesn't see us here, so we can go ahead and move on up and finish the 4th and final objective in this first set of fuse boxes. Everything is in the dark, so he should not be able to hear you at all here. He's going to move over to where you are. You need to get around him to the right.
Job's done, Lambert. I got the fuse boxes.
Good. On to your next task.
Make it quick. I have to get back before they find out I'm here.
I know, but this has to be done right. It's too important, Sam.
So what's next?
Find their server. It's probably on the 2nd floor of the compound. Once you're there, open up a connection to Fort Meade. We'll sift around their system. See if we can find anything.
On my way.
So, one thing to note that the enemies might be in different locations depending on when you enter this room. We're going to take out this light. It's going to get his distraction.
Did I just see something?
It's very important that you do this because otherwise it can take quite a long time to get through this room without taking the light out. We're going to go over here. We're going to grab Emil's fingerprints.
Sources say that chicken soup has proven to be part of this new discovery. And in politics today, the election is proving to be a close race.
That covers Emil nicely.
And then you can check out his computer. Again, this is definitely one of my favorite minigames in all of the Splinter Cell series. I wish they would bring this back. Alright, so the thing you want to do here is you want to kind of look under the door and make sure that the guard is not here, as it can be a little difficult. I don't know. He might be here on yours, he might not. Again, when you enter this area is really dependent on where the guards are. You could have been a little slower than me, you could have been a little faster than me, and things might change. So you just need to kind of always be on your feet when you're playing these types of stealth games. I can only show you exactly what the level pertains to if you complete it in the exact time that I do. We're going to grab Enrique's fingerprints as well, and then we're going to take a look at her computer. Although you don't need to look at the computer, it's just some extra information for you to check out. Now this guard's going to be coming back in this direction, so again we're going to look underneath the door to find out where he is. Another way you can do this is by using your thermal vision to see when he passes through the door. He pretty much just comes right there and then he goes right back, so there's no reason to go out yet. but you do need to follow quickly behind him. It's the only way you're going to be able to make it to the next section. Get underneath the camera, follow as close as you can, but obviously don't be seen by the camera. Once he gets over here into the door, you should have just enough time for you to go ahead and enter the door, shut it, and start your way over to the next, or the two technically final objectives. As long as you get over here in the darkness before he turns around and starts heading the other direction, he won't see you. This is where you have to make a choice, either decide with the NSA or the JBA. Of course, you guys know me. I'm always going to go NSA. But this also means that you have a limited time to get back to where you need to go.
This is the dirt on Cole Yeager. Looks like he's plotting to take over the JBA. I'm not sure Emil will like that. If I send this to Emil, Yeager's dead within the hour. But if I send it to Lambert, there might be a chance to extract Yeager and pump him for information.
Thanks for the information, Sam. We'll deal with Yeager. He'll disappear before Dufresne can get to him.
Bishop, this is Emil. You are not in your bunk. Get in touch with me immediately and tell me where you are. Otherwise, I will have no choice but to assume the worst and respond accordingly.
So depending on where the guy is, you can go ahead and exit. He is to our right, so we don't have to worry. Now, because we're so high on the NSA, this is what happens. If you're not high, he will not say anything, although it doesn't make sense for him to say anything because of the fact, well, he sent him out to talk to Yeager, so he already knows he's not in his bunk, but this is just a scripted thing that happens whenever your NSA is all the way to the max. Obviously, be on the lookout for where the guard is in this area, and then you should be able to get through, and both the final objectives are in the same spot.
Of any man who keeps me waiting this long.
Once you actually talk to Emil, it'll be the same location where you need to exfiltrate. And that's it, pretty much. I mean, you just need to make your way back down the ladder, and once you do that, then you can complete the final two objectives, and then we can take a look at how well we did. This is a pretty easy mission to do. It doesn't take long at all. You can get through it pretty quick. I try to make it as challenging as possible. We did take a few lights out, but I felt because there's 3 people in that area, you really need to take the light to go up the stairs.
Disregard my last instruction. Fisher has been located.
Now get back to the public area before your absence is noted.
And there you have it, ladies and gents. JBA Headquarters number 1 complete. All objectives completed, mostly siding with the NSA, of course, and 0 zeros all down the line. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I know I didn't do a live stream for this. I just didn't have enough time. A lot of things going on right now with my father being here. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And, of course, I will see you on the next mission. Peace out. Bitches.